To predict how a piece of metal will bend, stretch, or break under stress, we have to look past the macroscopic surface. We need to map the microscopic crystallographic orientation of millions of individual grains simultaneously. The mathematical solution to quantifying this texture is the orientation distribution function, or ODF. This is a three-dimensional probability density function that calculates these orientations, typically expressed in a unit called multiples of random density, or MRD. Historically, engineers relied on two-dimensional pole figures to plot this data, but this introduces a critical failure point known as information concentration. When three-dimensional orientation boundaries are projected onto a flat 2D plane, distinct microstructural components that are separated in physical space mathematically overlap. This collapse obscures the exact volume fractions of the crystalline structures. To resolve this overlap, we must map these orientations into a continuous 3D mathematical framework called Euler space. Using the bungee convention, we assign three specific rotational variables to every crystal: colatitude, longitude, and heading. We cannot accurately predict true material anisotropy from ambiguous two-dimensional projections. It requires strict, uncompressed calculation within this 3D Euler space formulation. Plotting coordinates in 3D Euler space introduces its own geometric artifact, a severe mathematical volume contraction near the poles. Looking at this scatter plot mapping orientation density, you can see that as the colatitude angle, phi, approaches 0 degrees, the mapped points appear artificially sparse. This sparsity does not mean crystals are physically missing from the material. It is simply a mathematical consequence of curved surface area shrinking at the poles of a sphere. To compensate for this surface distortion when calculating volume, we introduce a geometric correction factor. By incorporating the sign of the colatitude into the volume integral, we ensure that every spatial calculation reflects true physical volume, rather than an artifact of the coordinate system itself. Without this specific geometric correction, any volume fraction derived from Euler space is mathematically invalid and will inherently misrepresent the material's structural properties. Once the space is geometrically corrected, the entire orientation distribution function must be mathematically normalized across its full domain to establish a baseline. The primary rule of this normalization is that in a perfectly random isotropic material state, the average integral over the entire defined space must equal exactly 1. We use a normalization constant of 1 over 8 pi squared, applied against the strict bounds of the bungee convention's integration domain. Within that triple integral, the orientation function f and the sine phi geometric correction factor are integrated together. Comparing this table to a standard probability density function shows exactly why the ODF is more complex than basic statistics. Its normalization criterion relies on the specific volume of orientation space, and it accounts for inherent periodicity dictated by 3D rotation. This shifts the definition of ODF intensity toward a measurement of cumulative physical volume derived through differential calculus. This differential equation maps that derivation. ODF intensity is derived from the change in volume relative to an infinitesimal orientation neighborhood. Depending on the engineering objective, this derivative can be interpreted in two different ways, either as a physical volume fraction outlining macroscopic behavior or as a discrete grain number fraction. Grounded in volumetric calculus, the orientation distribution function operates as a strictly defined property of continuum mechanics. Returning to the experimental challenge, our instruments only measure two-dimensional pole figures, but accurate mechanical predictions demand the full three-dimensional ODF. Bridging the mathematical gap between the 2D data we collect and the 3D function we need is called the inverse problem. Here, multiple 3D crystalline orientations contribute identically to a single point on a 2D pole figure. To solve this inverse problem, we use path integration, expanding the ODF intensity into a series of basis functions computed along a specific mathematical path, represented here by gamma. Generating a valid 3D ODF from physical experimental data relies entirely on the successful execution of this complex inverse path integration. Once the inverse problem framework is established, engineers have to choose between two distinct modeling paradigms to mathematically represent their data. The first approach is continuous distribution modeling, which utilizes smooth mathematical functions to approximate the experimental measurements. The Bungay-Rowe formulation uses surface harmonic expansions, similar to electron orbital functions, to create a differentiable ODF surface. But this has a critical limitation. Capturing sharp texture peaks requires impractically high-order expansions, otherwise introducing severe oscillation artifacts. To bypass the limits of harmonic expansion, engineers turn to the second paradigm, discrete grid modeling. This divides orientation space into rigid, regular volumetric cells, mapping measured intensity directly to distinct coordinate grid points. While susceptible to statistical noise in sparse regions, this grid method is vastly superior for capturing the sharp, strong texture components observed in EBSD data. The choice of modeling paradigm dictates the mathematical fidelity of the final ODF, determined entirely by the material's inherent texture strength. With the data accurately modeled, we move from theoretical mathematics back to the practical engineering objective, extracting the physical volume fraction of a specific texture component. First, we isolate a specific region of interest within the orientation space, bounded by discrete Euler angle intervals. Calculating the fraction of material occupied requires integrating the ODF directly over this bounded region, maintaining our geometric sin phi correction. This analysis workflow begins with the acquisition of discrete data. Next, we apply critical mathematical interventions, discretizing the Euler space, applying the geometric correction, and executing the normalization. Finally, these mathematical integrals are translated into reliable predictions of macroscopic mechanical properties. The mathematically corrected ODF serves as the single most rigorous bridge available to connect microscopic lattice mechanics to the continuous macroscopic behavior of structural materials.